Welcome to the Way of Mastery. I am Earl Purdy, and I'm so glad to have you with me, mighty companion. I want to play this song by Reverend Yolanda that tells the truth about us. You are an idea in the mind of God. Take a breath. Take a breath.
We are not these bodies that we think we are.
You're not your body.
We are an idea in the mind of God.
You are an idea in the mind of God. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Being an idea in the mind of God. What does that mean?
We're not our thoughts and feelings or sensations that we crave. We're not our experience, although we take them to our grave. What does that mean?
You are an idea in the mind of God. Welcome to the Way of Mastery. Guess what? You are an idea in the mind of God. You are an idea in the mind of God.
Every bee and bug and tree and plant is made of love.
You are made of love.
Every creature in the sea and birds that fly above are an idea in the mind of God. You are an idea in the mind of God. You are an idea
In the mind of God.
You are an idea
In the mind of God.
You are an idea We are an
Welcome to the Way of Mastery. 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 Woo! It's good to be with you, mighty companion. We're going to go deep. We're going to continue to talk about desire tonight. That was Reverend Yolanda at yolanda.net. I'm excited. I'm always excited to be with you. I'm always excited to be with you. Thank you for coming online, all of you mighty companions. And this is just a few of them that have come online. I want to say hello, Susan and Dharma and Jane and Keith and Jerry and Jenny and Ada and Sheila and Demola and John and Judith and Jason and Mark and all the rest of you that are here on Facebook Live with me, Earl Purdy, to do the Way of Mastery tonight. I love to teach out of the book. I love to teach out of the book. The Way of Mastery. We're in the way of the heart. I want to invite you to comment. I want to invite you to share. I want to invite you to share the video right next to the comment box. Let's get this energy out there. Let's get this truth out there. We're talking about one of my favorite subjects. We're going to continue on the subject of desire. We're on page 49 in the Way of the Heart. Page 49 in the Way of the Heart. It's called Desire Links You to the Will of God. Desire links you to the will of God. That's part 1, the Way of the Heart, lesson 4, which is following the thread of desire. And the section that we're covering tonight is on page 49. Desire links you to the will of God. And if we get interrupted, if there's any type of problem with the broadcast, just hang in there, and usually it reconnects. And so just be patient, and I will be right back. That's the way it usually works. So let's start with desire links you to the will of God. You know, I started on a part of this last week, and so we're going to just start over, and we're going to cover the whole section. Desire is creation. So the first thing that, and also I'm doing this for myself as well as for you. I need this as much as you need this. So sometimes you're going to hear me call my own name because I want to make sure that I get this because I know it's for me. And also you and I, mighty companion, is for the two of us doing it together also. So I'm going to start out with the paragraph that says, desire is creation. So that means creation is desire. So what does that mean? Well, it means that what you desire is of supreme importance. What's really important is what you desire. It's really important to get in touch with what you desire. Don't forget to comment. I'm watching your comments. I see them. And if you will take the little exercise that we've given you and begin to put this little exercise into practice, which is what? When you get up in the morning, in a very quiet way, you will begin to get back in touch with the innocence and beauty of the movement of desire. You can delight in the movement of desire. So get up in the morning in a very quiet way. As soon as I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I study A Course in Miracles or A Way of Mastery or A Course of Love. I do my Course in Miracles workbook lesson. I give myself at least an hour or two, if I can, of just focusing in on my desire. And my deepest desire is to know God. My deepest desire is to know that which created me. My deepest desire is to wake up to who I really am. My deepest desire is to forgive myself for all of the insanity that I have had and expressed in my unconsciousness in my life. My desires used to be more of a material nature, which is absolutely fine. But now I find that my emphasis is more on the content of my life than the form of my life. I'm more concerned with having love in my life than having anything material in my life, even though I totally appreciate the best and the most wonderful of the material world and what it has to offer. So when you have a sexual thought, when you have a sexual desire, why don't you just be with it? Now that was quite the segue, wasn't it? When you have a sexual thought, when you have a sexual desire, when you have a sexual, thanks for the hearts. Ooh, I appreciate that love. So when you have a sexual desire, why not be with it? Why not notice what a sexual desire causes to happen in your body? Why don't you pay attention to what your sexual desires cause to happen in your body? When you have sexual desires, does your breathing change? When you have sexual desires, do your heart beat faster? I want you to be honest with yourself. Does sexual desires put a smile on your face? What if you decided to honestly embrace the effect of your sexual desires and see your sexual desires as being innocent and beautiful? Why don't you embrace your sexual desires and see your sexual desires as innocent and see your sexual desires as beautiful? How might your day change if you don't repress your awareness of your sexual desires? How might your day be different if you didn't repress your sexual desires? How might your life be different if you didn't suppress your sexual desires. You would notice that I'm not saying to walk down the street and grab somebody as they're walking past you. I'm not asking you to do anything that would be frightening to anybody. But what I am talking about is allowing yourself the living embrace of exactly what sexual energy is moving through your being. I'm just saying to you, the Way of Mastery is saying, we're talking about allowing yourself the living embrace. Notice it says the living embrace of exactly what energy is moving through your being. So why is it important? Why is what important? Why is it important to allow yourself the living embrace of all the energy that's passing through your body and your being? If you've decided that there are certain energies that are passing through you that are bad or demonic or evil, if you have decided that there are certain energies that have the power to distract you from your union with God, then you've already decided there's something beyond your power. You've already decided that there's something beyond the reach of your power if you think there's anything that you can desire that would distract you from your connection to Source. And believing that there's anything that could distract you from your connection to God, believing that there's any desire that can distract you from your connection with God, disempowers you. So I would invite you to do this. What is it that I would invite you to do? I would invite you to no longer believe that there's anything that could distract you from your union with God, your union with love, your union with your Creator. What kind of thoughts and desires do we have that would even begin to distract us from our true connection to our Source? You take an innocent energy, and for instance, the innocent energy like sex. You take the innocent energy of sex, for instance, and there's a part of the mind that can turn it into a monster that needs to be feared at all costs. You know, I've been on my spiritual path since I was 23 years old. And I've gone to a lot of spiritual gatherings and higher consciousness meetings and personal growth meetings and classes, hundreds and hundreds. And I think the thing that I've heard brought up least of all is sex and money. That for some reason those areas are not ever discussed in many, many spiritual or higher consciousness classes, which I personally believe is a reflection of still the guilt and puritanical attitudes that we still have associated with money and sex. I know when I went to Baptist church when I was young, I was told that money is the root of all evil, and that it's easier to get a camel through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get to heaven. And sex was definitely something you wasn't supposed to do until you were married. And it was something that, you know, that you should have a lot of shame about a lot of times. Sometimes it was called in that kind of thought or feeling. So I'm glad that the Way of Mastery actually brought up sexual desire and sexual energy. And I love that Jesus in the Way of Mastery talks about money and all the things that we deal with on a day-to-day level, because we have to learn how to use everything in our experience to wake us up. So there's not anything that you've made. There's not a situation that you're in. There's not a relationship that you're in that can be used for your awakening. They can be used to bring you closer to truth and closer to God. So I'm going to say this to you. The mystical transformation. The mystical transformation, it carries you from feeling yourself to be a disempowered little drop of foam on the edge of a wave to the sense of freedom and empowered living that flows from the mind of God through you to express only beautiful creations filled with majesty, power, and miracles is willingness. So what creates the mystical transformation? What creates the mystical transformation is willingness. The willingness to do what? The willingness to turn to the very energies that move through your mind and your body and don't fear them. So are you willing to have a willingness to turn the very energies that move through your mind and your body and not fear them? Are you willing to turn to the very energies that are moving through your mind and body and not be afraid of the energies that's moving through your mind and body? Are you willing to not be afraid of all the energies that are moving through your mind and body? Are you willing to turn to the very energies that move through the mind and body and to not fear them, but instead to look upon the energies that are moving through your mind and body with innocence and wonder? So how should you look at your sexual desires? With innocence and wonder. How should you look at your spiritual desires? With innocence and wonder. How should you look at your relationship desires? Through innocence and wonder. How should you look on your material desires? Through innocence and wonder. How should you look on your financial desires? Through innocence and wonder. Every energy that moves through your mind and body, don't be afraid of the energies that move through your mind and body. What should you do with the energies that move through your mind and body? You should look at them and feel them in innocence and wonder. So this is the source of the myths that's been told in all cultures. The knight that slays the dragon, or the kissing the wild beast on the cheek, and then it becomes a loving companion. Your monsters are what you fear and repress because of the judgments you've learned in the world. So what are monsters at a metaphysical, spiritual level? A monster is whatever you fear, whatever you repress within yourself because of the judgments of the world. Because the world is only the denial of God. The world is the denial of the truth. Don't you know that the world is the denial of the kingdom? Do you know that the world is the exact opposite of the truth? You want to know what the truth is? It's always the opposite of what the world teaches. If the world teaches you that you are inside the body, then the truth is the body is inside you. If the world teaches you that you are a victim of things that can happen to you, the truth is you're not a victim of anything that happens to you. The truth is, if the world says you're guilty or sinful or separate, the truth is you're innocent and joined and united. Allow yourself right away, if you're sitting in one of your churches and everyone is saying sexuality is bad, that it will keep you from God, then right away you should realize if everyone here fears sexuality, then actually sexuality must be divine. Whatever is feared here, if sexuality is feared here, then the truth is sexuality is divine. So allow yourself to think this. Allow yourself to think, perhaps I would do well to embrace my sexuality. Perhaps I would do well to love my sexuality. Perhaps I would do well to master my sexuality. Perhaps I would do well to not be afraid of my sexuality. So here's another example. Imagine someone says to you, money is the root of all evil. Money is the root of all evil. Money is the thing that's causing all the problems in the world. If it wasn't for the need for money and money, I'd be happy. Money is the root of all evil. And then this person puts out their hand right after they tell you that money is the root of all evil and say, would you please make a donation to our organization? Wouldn't that be an expression of conflict? Conflict permeates the religions and dogmas of this world. The world says, don't desire money. Don't desire wealth. By the way, to keep this ministry going that I got on the radio, I need you to make a donation. So what are they trying to teach you? What are they in denial of? Sex and money. Sex and money, pretty basic things. Are they not? Isn't sex and money pretty basic things? Well, let me tell you what sex and money represents. Would you like to know what sex and money represents? It represents energies that flow from the mind of God. Sex and money are energies that flow from the mind of love. Sex and money are energies. They are energies that flow from the mind of God. These are energies that flow from the mind of God that express unlimited joy and unlimited power. It is possible to experience through sex and money energies that flow from the mind of God, which express in unlimited joy, and not only in unlimited joy, but also express in unlimited power. Not to be willing to settle for limitation of any kind. So how would you dwell in unlimited power? By not being willing to settle for any kind of limitation. Say that to yourself right now. I'm not willing to settle for any kind of limitation anymore. I am not willing to settle for any kind of limitation anymore. I'm not willing to settle for any kind of limitation anymore. I am not willing to settle for any kind of limitation anymore. Earl, you are not willing to settle for any kind of limitation anymore. Mighty companion, you are not willing to settle for any kind of limitation anymore. So, let me tell you something. When the earth was birthed from God's holy mind, and when the earth took on its own form and became an entity, just like you, God did not say, well, this is a pretty beautiful planet, but I can only have a solar system that's just large enough for the Earth. Rather, what happened out of joy was the Creator allowed there to come forth solar system upon solar system upon solar system upon solar system. There was the birthing of 1,000, 1,000,000 suns every moment as a field in which this beautiful jewel of an earth could spin. That is true creation. True creation is abundant. There isn't just one planet like Earth. There are billions and billions of planets like Earth. There is not just one solar system. There's billions and billions of solar systems. Whatever created this, the Creator that created this, the Creator that created us, believes in abundance. Lots. There's nothing wrong in believing in abundance. Abundance is your natural state. 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 It's natural for you to have plenty of abundance. It is natural for you to have plenty of abundance, Earl. It's natural. It's natural for you to have plenty of abundance. It's natural for you to live in abundance. Mighty, companion, it is natural for you to live in abundance. It is natural. It is so natural for you to live in abundance. And I'm seeing all of your comments, and I love it. I love it. That's right, Demola. Abundance is your natural state. I want you to hear this. Abundance is your natural state. Abundance is your natural state. Abundance is your natural state. So what quality of solar system have you decided to allow in which the planet of your own awareness can spin and live and express? Desire is everything. What is everything? Desire is everything. Desire is everything. So, the simple exercise that we've given you will begin to free up the blocks inside. And the desire and the simple exercise we gave you, as soon as you get up, focus in on the truth. As soon as you get up, ask yourself, what do I want? What do I desire? What do I really want? What do I really desire? And when you start to not judge your desires and just ask for your desire, then you're going to rediscover the innocence of desire. Many people believe that it's wrong to have certain desires. They judge their desires. This blocks the creative flow of your desire. So you're going to discover what? It's time for you to discover that your desires are innocent. It's time for you to discover that your desires are innocent. Your desires are innocent. Then you're going to begin to expand upon the idea that your desires are innocent. You're going to take a few moments to learn to live deliberately. How do you live deliberately? How do you live deliberately? The way that you live deliberately is by asking yourself this one question. What do I really want? What do I really want? What do I really want? You have to start out by asking yourself deliberately, what is it that I really want? What do you really want? Not what you should want, but what do you really want? Start to ask yourself deliberately, what do I really want? 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 I'm going to tell you what I really want.
Every thought we think,
I want,
every word we speak,
I want
is creating our
freedom.
future.
I want freedom.
You know my soul is singing. You know my soul is singing.
I want freedom. That's what I desire. I want freedom.
Are you in charge of your life?
Are you in charge of your life?
Do you make it your own?
Do you make it your own?
Do you follow your heart?
Do you follow your heart?
This moment is your home.
This moment is your home.
Do you see love all around you?
Do you see love all around
Let your
you?
passion fill your soul.
Let your passions fill your soul.
And feeling all of your sensations.
Feel all of your sensations.
We are free and we are whole.
We are free and we are whole.
And so our thoughts create our freedom. Freedom.
Rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
want? What do you truly want? Use your consciousness, use your consciousness, use your consciousness to relax into the innocence of that question. What do I truly want? What do I truly want? What is it in my heart that keeps calling to me? What is it that keeps calling to me from deep inside of my heart? What is it that keeps calling to you from deep inside your heart? What is it that in your life that keeps compelling you? What is it in your life that keeps compelling you? Because do you know your mind shines forth like a sunbeam to the sun from the mind of God. And when you ask a question, pictures will begin to arise. Feelings will begin to come up. And I say to you that these pictures, these feelings, these pictures, they are symbols. They are expressions of what God wants to bring forth through you. You ask what you truly want. You ask, what is it in my heart that's really compelling me? What is it in my heart that's really calling to me? What is it that's really calling to me that I want to do in my heart? Earl, what is it that's really calling to you right now? Earl, what is it that you're feeling compelled to do? Mighty companion, what's really calling to you from within your heart right now? What is it that you're feeling compelled to do? What kind of images and feelings and pictures come up in your mind when you say what you truly want? When you ask, what do I truly want? That is an expression of what the Creator wants to bring forth through you. So you may say, every time I look in my heart, and every time I allow myself to feel it, what I really want is to put my arms around people. I really want to put my arms around people. I want to let people know how much I love them. Why should you be afraid of that desire? Why would you be afraid of the desire to put your arms around people and love people? Do you tell yourself, it's too overwhelming? If I put my arms around people, if I let everybody know that I love them, it's just going to be too much for them. I don't know how people are going to accept that. Here's a question for you. Who cares how you will be accepted? Who cares how you will be accepted? Who cares what matters? Do you want to know what really matters? What really matters is how you accept yourself. It doesn't matter how anyone else accepts you. It doesn't matter how anyone else accepts you. It doesn't matter how anyone else accepts you or whether or not anyone else will accept you. What matters is how you accept yourself. Do you know that that is what really matters? What really matters, Earl, what really matters, mighty companion, is how you accept yourself. What if by feeling that desire, new pictures begin to come to you? For example, let's say that you suddenly realize, what I want to do is I want to join the Peace Corps. Perhaps that very decision would be like putting yourself in a solar system where you can spin as your own planet. What if going and being in the Peace Corps could be the very pathway through which you learn to receive the great joy of letting your love out into the world? But if you fear desire, how can you ever know these things? If you fear your desires, how can it be revealed to you what you should do in your expression in the world? So the first thing I would suggest, Earl, the first thing that I would suggest, mighty companion, is don't ask for stuff you are afraid of receiving. Don't ask for things you are afraid of receiving. Don't ask for things that you are afraid of receiving. Don't ask for the fulfillment of desires that you are afraid of. Because if you are afraid of the desire, at some level you don't want that desire, and at some level that you don't want your desire to manifest. Now, I'm not saying that everything you desire is naturally, it's going to always ultimately be for your own best interests. And you have inner guidance that can direct you and help you as far as the types of desires, and what desires would be the most helpful to you. But our point tonight is for you to stop judging your desires and know that your desires are a direct link to God. That's the point of tonight's session. So what comes up for you by asking that question? It might be, I want to have so much wealth. And I see the thought that says, oh no, I want to say I want wealth, but there's a part of me that thinks wealth is bad. I really want to ask for riches, but there's a part of me that thinks that riches are bad. But But what? But if you allow yourself to continue to ask the question, even if you have some reservation, even if you have some fears about your desires, if you continue to ask the question, what is it that I truly want? And not be afraid of your desires. If you continue to ask the question, the deeper answer will emerge, such as, what I want is to be able to go to all the hungry children on this planet and feed them. What I want to do is feed all the hungry children on this planet. That's why I want to be wealthy. So let me get this straight. If I say I want to be wealthy, what I desire is to be wealthy. What I desire is to be wealthy. How can I be wealthy? How can I be wealthy? Even though I might have reservations about that, even though I might have judgments about that, even though I might have learned that wanting to be wealthy is wrong, because I heard stuff like it's easier for, how does it go? It's easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle for a rich person to get to the kingdom of God or heaven. Even if I have these ideas that rich people are bad, wealth is bad at a material level, if I keep saying it though, if I keep saying, how can I know my wealth? How can I be wealthy? Then what you want the wealth for, the loving reason why you want the wealth, will reveal itself. And when the real reason, when the loving reason for wanting the wealth reveals itself, then you will feel innocent about that desire. And if you feel innocent about that desire, then you won't judge yourself for having that desire. And so you would be much more prone to let the desire manifest. That's good to know. So could it not be that the desire to feed the world is that, could it not be that whatever your desire is, it's God's desire to function through you in that way, to use you in a way that affects the transformation of this planet? Is it possible for you to see that by blocking the feeling of desire, can you see that by blocking your feelings of desire, you might just be blocking yourself from hearing what you keep praying for over and over and over and over? Don't block the feeling of desire. It's possible that that desire is the way that the Creator wants to use you to help heal the planet. Even though you may not see how, the fact that you have that desire, you have that feeling, you feel compelled, it's something in your heart, that is likely God in you wanting to get you to express yourself in a way that allows God or love or joy and healing to function through you. If you don't know what you want, do you know what you can do if you don't know what you desire? Do you know what you can do if you don't know what you desire? Then let me tell you, prayer. What do you mean? Say, Father or Creator or God, reveal that purpose to me. God, reveal your purpose to me. God, what I desire is for God to reveal God's purpose to me. I want you to reveal your purpose to me. I want you to reveal your purpose for me. God, I desire that you reveal your purpose to me. God, I desire that you reveal my purpose to me. Creator, my Creator, because I know I didn't create myself, I know I didn't create myself, something created me, something created me, something created me, something created you, something created you. You didn't create yourself, 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 you did not 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 create yourself. You have a Creator. The Creator is smarter than you. Your Creator is smarter than you. Your Creator is smarter than you. Your Creator knows more than you. Your Creator knows what your purpose is. Your Creator knows what will fulfill you. Your Creator even knows the desires that would be most fulfilling to you. So say, God, reveal that purpose to me. My Creator, reveal my purpose to me. Reveal that purpose for me. Then you do what? Then you feel the desire and say, oops, excuse me, Father, I have to get rid of this desire first. I ask God to reveal my purpose. I ask God to reveal my desires. But if that desire or the desire that pops up is something that I think is bad based on what I learned from the world, then I might tell myself, well, I got to get rid of that desire first. I know God is going to reveal the desire, the correct desire, the best desire, but I had this desire come up and I got to get rid of this desire. That might be the very desire that all that is giving you, that the Creator is giving you. So desire in the heart, desire in the heart is where you will discover the phone line that links you to the will of God that would be expressed through you. If you do not trust desire, if you don't trust desire, if you don't trust desire, you are literally saying that you decided not to trust God. If you don't trust your true desires, you're literally saying that you have decided not to trust God. If you do not trust your deepest, truest desires, you are literally saying you have decided not to trust your Creator. Wow. Now that's a statement not just to be brushed aside. Don't brush aside what I just got through saying. In healing the conflict, if you have a conflict around desire, if you would like to have your conflicts around desire healed, in healing the conflict around desire, now that you know what desire truly is, an expression of the will of God through you, for you, and to you, learn to be patient with yourself. As you are undoing all of the old programming that you got through fear and the world and the past and ego, be patient with yourself. The easiest way to be patient with yourself is to have an abundant willingness to do it over and over again until you get it. Another way to have patience is to be certain of the outcome. If you're certain of the outcome, you can afford to wait. So if you tell yourself there is no way that I am not going to reach a point where I am completely fulfilled and completely happy, that it is my destiny to have complete joy, because God's will for you is complete happiness, perfect happiness, as the Course in Miracles says. If you were to be absolutely clear about how this play is going to end, which is you living happily ever after, you're having complete abundance and complete joy and feeling innocent about your desires and expressing yourself in ways that inspire you and move you and bring you joy. That's how all of this is going to turn out. When you get through with all of your learning, when you get through with all of your undoing, when you get through with all of the blocks that you are willing to let go of, and when you get through with all of this, your spiritual path, when you completed your path of self-realization, you are guaranteed to be in a state of being that is completely happy, completely joyful, and that joy will never, ever, ever end. That joy won't end. That joy will expand. That joy will not end. When you have reached your true self, when you have reached your true desires, when you have stopped judging your desires based on what the world has taught you, and you let the desire that's coming to you from your Creator come through you, without judgment of it, you are moving toward the state of your true being. And the state of your true being is a state of eternal joy. So being patient with yourself is the key. Being patient with yourself is the key. And what you really desire ultimately is freedom.
Or do you love to suffer?
Do you love to suffer?
Are you comfortable with pain?
Are you comfortable with pain?
Well, try living in the flow.
You got to try living in the flow.
In the state of well-being.
You got to live in a state of well-being.
About tomorrow.
Don't you worry about tomorrow.
Just stay in the now.
Just stay in the now.
It's good if you can see it.
It's good if you can see
It
it.
all works out somehow.
It all works out somehow.
So our thoughts create our freedom.
Freedom. Rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby. Yeah. Freedom. Rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby.
All of us are on a journey.
Your desire is everything. Desire is everything. Desire is everything. Desire is creation. Desire is creation. Desire is everything. Desire is everything.
Just Does your intuition guide you?
Does your intuition guide you?
Lay awake at night.
Do you lay awake at night?
Do you believe in the power?
Do you believe in the power?
Because you know it's your birthright.
Because you know it's your birthright.
And in your moments of confusion,
In your moments of confusion,
when you can't find the way,
when you cannot find a way,
there's an answer deep inside you.
there's an answer deep inside
Put
you
you back in harmony.
that puts you back in harmony.
So our thoughts create our freedom.
Freedom, rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Freedom, rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby. Freedom, rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Freedom, rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are innocent. Desire is everything. You are innocent. Desire is everything. You are innocent. Desire is everything. Your desires are innocent. 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 My desires are innocent. Your desires are innocent. Your desires are innocent. Your desires are innocent. That's right, Gemma. We need harmony. Jerry, I'm rocking into freedom with you, buddy. I am. So, I'm so glad to now we're going to do an exercise in trusting your desire. And I see your comments. Keep communicating with each other. It is powerful. We're in real time. We're connected with each other. That is for sure. Hello, Judith. Okay. We will suggest that you create a structure by which a second exercise can be practiced that fits into your life. It doesn't need to take more than 5-10 minutes initially. Perhaps do this 3 or 4 times a week. Eventually, you will be doing this all the time because pretty soon you're going to be creating deliberately all the time. You want to be a deliberate creator. What kind of creator do you want to be? You want to be a deliberate creator. A deliberate creator. You want to be a deliberate creator. You want to be a deliberate creator. A deliberate creator. That's what you want to be right now. You want to be a deliberate creator. So you want to practice this exercise 3 or 4 times a week so that you can be a deliberate creator. So for just 10 or 15 minutes, I'm going to ask you to do one of the hardest things that you could possibly do. In 10 or 15 minutes, for 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 10 or 15 minutes, would you set aside your world? Would you just for 10 or 15 minutes stop thinking about yourself and stop thinking about what's going on in your personal world for just 10 or 15 minutes? And what will you remember in that 10 or 15 minutes? You want to remember in that 10 or 15 minutes that you need do nothing. So what do you want to remember in that 10 or 15 minutes? You want to remember that you need do nothing. So you're saying the world can wait. The world. Do you know that if it looked like you left the world today, no matter how much the people around you love you, no matter how much the people around you love you, no matter how special you are to the people around you, sooner or later, they would move on with their lives. All those things that you think couldn't be handled unless you were there to handle them, if you were to leave the body, do you know all of those things would get handled? So you need to allow yourself to set the world aside for at least 10 or 15 minutes. 10 or 15 minutes, set the world aside. Let me get more comfortable. So what I want to ask you to do right now, is I want you to relax your body. I want to ask you to relax your body and close your eyes. Relax your body and close your eyes. Let your breath become very deep and let your breath become very rhythmic. So, okay, I'll take a minute with you. Relax your body, close your eyes. And it can be of great benefit if you will let your breath become very deep and let your breath become very rhythmic. The reason why you want to take a deep breath, the reason why you hear me say often, take a breath, is because we want to relax your nervous system. We want to seduce the controller of your mind. We want to seduce and reduce the critic that decides which thoughts are acceptable and which thoughts are not. We want to get rid of the part of you that is the critic, the part of you that says this thought is acceptable, this thought isn't. By the way, the critic is never something really ultimately you created. It's something you let live in your mind that was actually made up by a lot of other fearful minds. And those fearful minds in a lot of cases were parents and teachers. So as you relax the body, as you relax the mind, this is what I want to ask you to do. As you relax your mind, as you relax your body, ask yourself, what do I truly want? What do I truly want? Ask yourself, what do I truly want? Ask yourself, what is it that I truly want? I want you to observe any images, observe any thoughts that come up in your mind, but don't judge them. What do I really want? I'm going to observe any images or feelings or thoughts that come up in my mind, and I'm not going to judge the images and feelings and thoughts that come up in my mind. Relax, close your eyes, ask yourself, what do I truly want? What do I truly want? What do I truly want? See what images come up in your mind. See what images come up in your mind. Notice the feelings that you have in your body. Notice the feelings that you're having in your body. And allow this to go on for a minute or two. Okay, what do I truly want? What do you 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 truly want? Observe the images that come. Don't judge the images. Notice the feelings that you're having in your body. Then I want you to pause. Open your eyes. And then when you get a chance, write down everything that you remember. When you get a chance, write down or record everything you remember. When you really start to listen to yourself, when you really start to go within, it's a really good idea. It's a really good idea to have a recorder. And most cell phones have recorders in them. So what I want you to do is close your eyes, ask yourself what you truly want, pay attention to the thoughts and feelings that come up, notice how you feel in your body, open your eyes, and either record or write down everything that comes up. It says in the Way of Mastery, for example, I saw the image of having 47 sexual partners. I saw the image of having money rain down upon me so that I had to have an umbrella over my head. What I saw was large bowls of ice cream. What I saw myself on a boat in the ocean. When I asked, I noticed that my stomach got tight. Whatever it is, whatever comes up, no matter what it is, write it down or record it. And after you do that, after you record or write down what comes up for you, when you ask for what you truly want, then I want you to take a deep breath, relax again, and then repeat the process. What process? Asking yourself what you truly want. Notice the desires and feelings that come up without judging them. Notice how you feel in your body. And then write down or record whatever images or feelings that come up. Then I want you to place your hand so that your hand rests on your heart in the body. Place your hand so that your hand rests on your heart. And then I want you to breathe into your heart. Breathe into your heart a few times and then ask, put your hand over your heart, breathe, and then ask, what do I truly desire? What do I truly desire? What do I truly desire? And just allow the process to be what it is. Just allow the process to be what it is. So I want you to do this. I want you to do this over a period of 10 or 15 minutes. This is very, very simple. As a matter of fact, you know what really gets next to me? I know, because this is so simple, that the ego is probably going to keep many of you from doing this and even tempt me not to do it. Why? Because it's not complicated. The ego loves complexity. The part of you that wants to keep you limited, it loves complexity. So that part of the mind either doesn't listen, it either distracts you, it tries to make you go to sleep. It's even the Course in Miracles says that part of your mind called the ego says you need to die. So when you hear something as simple as, what I want you to do is ask what it is you truly want. What do you truly want? Then I want you to notice the images that come up without judgment and the feelings that come up without judgment. I want you to notice what comes up in your thoughts and in your feelings. Then I want you to record it or write it down. Then I want you to turn around and ask yourself again, what do I truly desire? And to do this again over a period of 10 or 15 minutes and repeat the process. Repeat the process how many times? Repeat the process at least 6 or 7 times. Writing everything down. Now that's a very simple process, especially when you think that the reward for doing this simple process, Earl Purdy and my mighty companion, is that you will put yourself in an optimum position to manifest what it is you truly, truly, truly desire. And don't judge your desires. You know, the temptation is to judge this desire as being spiritual, and this desire is not, and this desire is being okay, and this desire is being bad and sinful. It says don't judge the desire. Then take the piece of paper, take the journal, take the recording, put it aside until the next exercise period, because you're going to do it 3 or 4 times in a week, and then repeat the same process. And when you've done this 7 times, you should have at least 7 sheets of paper in which you've gone through this process. Then only then begin to look back upon all the things that came up, and then ask yourself, when you look back over the list, right? Because you're going to have a different list. You're going to write down your list. You're going to record your list, and you're going to do it 7 times. Now listen carefully. When you've done it 7 times, then this is what you wanted to ask yourself. What seems to be repeating itself? What is the thing that keeps coming up over and over and over again as my desire? What is it on this list, these 7 different pages or recordings? What is it that I keep saying over and over and over again? You may notice that 3 times you asked for the same thing, and then it seemed to fade away. You may have had the same desire twice in 48 hours, and now you notice you are really only wanting one desire. Whatever it might be, this is what you should do. Would you like to know what you should do? Whatever it might be that keeps repeating itself, notice the pattern. Notice the thread that seems to run throughout the exercise period. Then I want you to imagine that thread that seems to be running, those patterns, that thing that seems to keep repeating itself. Imagine it to be an energetic link that's tied from one end of the piece of foam at the edge of the wave to the other that's anchored in the ocean, that's God. And then consider that perhaps if you allowed yourself to move down that thread, if you allowed yourself to move down that desire that keeps on repeating itself, if you were to realize that if you put your energy in that innocent desire that keeps repeating itself, that will begin to clear up the obstacles within your consciousness that blocks that desire from being consistently lived from. If I focus on it, if I slide down it, if I put my energy into that desire, then you could carry yourself from the drop of foam at the edge of the wave to the heart of God. So along the way, everything unlike love will come up for you to release it. Along the way, I'll say it again, everything unlike love would come up for you to release it. Everything that's unlike your true desire will come up in order to be released. So during this process of embracing your desire without judgment, finding out what is the pattern of desire that keeps repeating itself, you are going to go through something very powerful. And do you know what that something is that you're going to go through that's very powerful? You're going to go through a metamorphosis that will culminate in your being the living incarnation of the power of Christ. You're going to go through a metamorphosis that's much greater than you imagine you were going to go through if you had your desire. You're going to go through a metamorphosis so that you become the living incarnation of the power of God, the power of love, the power of Christ. What I'm saying is, your soul would realize the fulfillment of what your soul has always sought. Do you know you are going to experience the fulfillment that your soul has always sought? What do you truly want? What do you truly desire? Take 15 minutes, go within, don't judge the desire, notice what's coming up inside of you, and then write down or record the desires that keep coming up, and do it 4 or 5 times a week. And then you should have at least 7 recordings or 7 lists where you wrote down what your true desires are. And then you want to see what is the desire that keeps on repeating itself. Then you are to imagine that desire, that thread linked to the power of God, linked to your Creator. And then let yourself move down that link. Let yourself move down that thread in your consciousness, because it will begin to unblock any obstacles in your consciousness. Know that then you will go through a metamorphosis as you begin to see your desires in an innocent way. You're going to go through a metamorphosis, and what that metamorphosis is going to be your becoming the living incarnate of the power of Christ, of the power of love, of the power of God, of the power of your true self. Wow. So that's as much as I'm going to do on this before a quick closure and completion. This is a section that's all about how to have your desires manifested in a way that's safe for you and fulfilling for you in your dynamic link to God. I appreciate you so much. And those of you who want to support my teaching ministry, my full-time teaching ministry, and you want to make financial expression of appreciation, would you go to earlpurdy.com, and you will be able to do that. Thank you for seeing value in what I do enough to support it and give a financial expression of appreciation. I love you and thank you for that. Also, the music was Reverend Yolanda, YOLANDA.net. That's where you find that. And if you want to find out more about the Way of Mastery, go to shanticristo.com. Google the Way of Mastery, and you can find out more about that. Those of you who want to go deeper in removing the blocks to your desires and getting past anything that blocks you, I'm available for one-on-one sessions called Clarity Sessions. So I'm here to help you go past that block using my over 40 years of experience of teaching spiritual truth and metaphysics and higher consciousness, as well as my knowledge of the more intuitive arts of astrology and numerology for those who are also open to that also. Go to my website, earlpurdy.com, and it explains all of that. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. So what is it that you truly desire? And please share these videos and comment and like them. We are building a mighty, mighty, mighty large group of mighty companions, and we can tap into that energy and benefit each other. But what is it that we truly desire underneath all of our desires? What do we truly desire beneath all of our desires? This is what we desire. Ultimately, what we desire is God. What we ultimately desire is God, is love, is truth. So we're going to ask ourselves 2 questions. We're going to ask ourselves 2 questions. What do I truly want? Ask yourself, what do I truly want? What do you 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 truly want? Relax and take a breath now and ask yourself this one question. Go, what do I truly want? What do I truly desire? What do you truly want, Earl? What do you truly want, mighty companion? What do you truly desire? Don't judge your desires. Stop judging your desires. Stop judging your desires. Stop judging your desires. See your desires with innocence and wonder. 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 Write down and record the desires that come up within your being. I say, write down and record the desires that come up in your being. And you have to see what desires and patterns keep coming up. Record what desires and patterns keep coming up. What is the desire that keeps coming up? What are the desires that keep coming up? What are the desires that keep repeating? What are the desires that keep repeating? What you want to notice is what desires you have that keep coming up. What desires compel you from your heart? What desires do you feel are moving you from your gut? And that may be what God wants you to do. Don't judge your desires. See yourself sliding down your desires. See yourself sliding down your desires. See your desire as linked to God. See your desires as linked to God. And be prepared. What should you be prepared for? Be prepared for your metamorphosis. I say you should be prepared for your metamorphosis. Be prepared for your metamorphosis. Be prepared for your metamorphosis into the power of your Christ love consciousness. Into the power of your Christ love consciousness. Be prepared for your metamorphosis. Be prepared for your metamorphosis. Be prepared for your metamorphosis. You are changing to the power of God. You are connecting to the power of God. You are becoming the power of God. You are becoming the power of God. Open up to being the power of God. Open up to being the love of God. Your desire is everything. I say desire is everything. Desire is creation. 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 Desire is everything. Desire is innocent. Desire is creation. Mighty companion, thank you so much for helping me remember, us remembering together. 7 o'clock on Thursday, Mountain Time, is A Course of Love. 1 p.m. Mountain Time on Sunday is A Course in Miracles with me on Facebook Live. And of course, on Tuesdays, we have The Way of Mastery. I saw your comments. I see all of your love. It is awesome. We're going to be the love of God, Gemma. That's who we are. We are the love of God. Mighty companion, may the course, which is the way of mastery, may the course be with you.